Welcome, everyone. We're now in the Renegade Society radio show. I am Sarah Erickson, in case we didn't figure that out yet. And I'm here with the absolutely delightful Mandi Hutchinson. Thank you for and helping us solve our tech problems or creating them.
I know, right? Which one is it? Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, let's see if we do that again.
Wow. That kind of day. Oh, gosh.
But seriously, thank you so much for coming. And just so that everyone gets to hear about your fantastic background, we'll start over there. So tell us about your background and your amazing ears and everything else.
All the things. So the background is actually, if anybody watches our show with Suzanne and myself, Aptastic, Suzanne created these backgrounds in varying colors. So this is one of them. Yes, I'm stealing one of our backgrounds. Makes it easier because my room is a complete mess. So we have a green screen little situation here. The ears are very fun. So this is Razor. This is the Kraken series, I guess they call it. And they light up. So you can actually alter the color of the ears. Right now it's kind of going between a pink and a blue. I just kind of left it subtle for this one. And I also have the whole collection of stuff for the most part. So I've got the keyboard and the headset rest for this. And anyway, and the mat and everything lights up. So I can change the lighting and all kinds of fun stuff. And everything's pink. So, yes.
Oh my God.
It has to match the chair,
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it's fun. But I don't know if anyone recognizes. You might see it a little bit. I don't play. Is it Overwatch?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Siva. I like the chair because it was pink, but...
Okay, so I will admit I am a ridiculous Heroes of the Storm fan. I watch a streamer that I really enjoy watching almost every single night with my husband. We play quite a bit, so
okay,
I don't play Diva myself, but I do really enjoy the game. It's fun stuff. So awesome! I'm jealous. It looks good. But we're here to talk about some digital stuff and some board games. So, what have you been playing lately? Anything exciting?
This is so sad. Are we talking board games or digital, or what are we going with here?
Whatever you want to talk about. You know, we're all sort of melding these things right now. There's things that we're digital, and now we're trying to play with our families, and they were our families, and now we're trying to play them digitally with our friends outside our household. So it's all kind of meshing together.
No, I don't have the opportunity to play board games here at my house because, well, I am the only one that is really into board games. I shouldn't say that. I can play lighter games, but not heavier ones, so to speak. I've been playing a lot of online games, whether through apps, through Nintendo Switch, through other kind of things. Tabletopia has been a really big one that we've been playing on. So actually, we played Paladins the other night, which I played in an IRL. Is that what they say in real life? So, as the kids say. So I played that, but I was just trying to do it as a group, right? Because we hadn't played together in a while. I'm like, yeah, let's play it. I was nervous playing it on Tabletopia, but it went really well. So Paladins, if you haven't played it, by the way, so good. And I'm not just saying Maximum Renegade. I actually like that game a lot. So we played that. I think last night we played On the Underground. It's like a rail kind of game. It was on Kickstarter. It's really fun, so I played that one. I'm trying to think, my goodness. Tranquility. You would like this. It's like a puzzly cooperative game, and I even got Suzanne to play it. She doesn't like cooperative games for the most part, but it's actually really cool. Like, you have this grid, and you're trying to fill it in with the cards have to go in ascending order. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 80. And it could be skipping numbers, but they have to be in order. But where you place them can be hard because you can't place a card beside another card if there's a difference of, I think it's more than 5. So you have to strategically try and place things. Anyway, there's more to it, but it's tough. We haven't won it yet, but here we are. That's it. Anyway, that's just a few of them, but I've also been playing a lot of Animal Crossing on Nintendo Switch and The Witcher, the third one.
Oh, I need to play that one. So I will admit that I played Animal Crossing in high school, which was now a million years ago, but I haven't played the new one. So tell me a little bit about why you love Animal Crossing.
Okay, so I never played it. I was a big into Sims, the Sim kind of world. So I played that quite a bit. And someone's like, it's kind of a similar thing. And I'm like, okay, let's try it out. So we're in quarantine. I'm like, I got this Nintendo Switch that, I haven't really got a chance to play too much on lately. Why not? So everyone's like, you got to buy it. So I got it. OMG. I just love it because I get to create my own kind of world. It's active, so you log in every day, something is happening. especially the beginning, like you are trying to meet certain goals, or they're like, oh, this person's visiting your island today, so you can buy special clothes or shoes or get this built, and building everything and getting your community going. So it sounds really boring, but it's not. It's super exciting. And I'm not one to play with people in a game. I'm a loner. Like, I play games either with the AI or by myself. Like, I just don't like the interaction. But in this game, you need it, because you want to visit other people's islands to get things you don't have. And just that interaction that I'm not getting now, I'm doing it with people online, right? And you can play with anybody all over the world. So it's been so fun. And I'm like, as we're talking now, I'm like, okay, after we're done, I got to go and water my plants. I'm really trying to get a gold rose here.
Nice. That sounds exciting. Man, I should go water my real plants. So what's your favorite part of your island?
Well, right now I'm still terraforming it. So for those who don't play the game, you have the option of like creating waterfalls and, water kind of areas, or building up levels. So right now my favorite, there's two. One of the bedrooms in my house that I have, because my theme is cute. So they have furniture that's called like cute furniture, thematic type furniture. So mine is cute. So I like things to be very pink, lots of hearts.
Right.
And I have so I have a room that literally has like a heart carpet, heart wallpaper, heart floor, heart beds with hearts on it. Everything has hearts. It's so cute. So that one is like my favorite. And then the floors are kind of like smoky floors kind of. So it like clouds of smoke go over. It's weird, but it's really cool. I love that. And then I have an area I built outside that has these like clamshell beds. Wow. And yes, and it has like sparkly flooring that I've added with some like, I don't know what they're called, but they're like Asian inspired kind of lanterns that are like black and pink and have ribbons on them. Anyway, it's very cute, very non-realistic in any way, shape, or form, but I love it.
What I love about not playing the game but talking to people about the game is how much about their personality you can find out just by asking what they're doing inside this virtual space. Like when I talk to you, you're all about the aesthetics. No surprise there. You want everything to look adorable. You want it to be a safe, comfortable place for you. When I talked to Scott Gata, owner of Renegade, about he's 100% about the turnip stock exchange.
Oh my God.
Always buying and selling and doing all of this math. And he's so excited about it. I love it so much because that is totally him.
You tell he was on. Oh my goodness. And it's the stock exchange, PS, STALK, not stock.
Of course it is. Oh my goodness.
I wonder how rich he is. I have like 10 mil in the bank right now from the turnip stock exchange. So
I have no idea, but I'm sure it's unreasonable because he's very excited about it. Oh, no.
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, you need to invite him to your island or whatever you do.
I have a Discord group. Oh, I forgot the most important part of this whole thing. So I created a Discord group, which I said people can join. Ideally, people that I know for the most part. So Facebook, I kind of really curate my list of friends, so I have an idea of, get people on my list. And then from that, it's like an approval basis. But yeah, like I literally have, I think there's like a community now of 50 in this server that I've created on Discord, and it's great. We tell each other, hey, I've got really high prices on the stock market, so come and sell your turnips, or I need this item, or this fossil. And yeah, so if you're into Animal Crossing and you want to get into this Discord, I'm telling you, let me know. I can make it happen.
I love that there's such an urge, like this basic human need to connect with people in any way, shape, or form that we can figure out. Even though we're all social distancing and trying to do the best that we can, we're still going to find a way to hang out together. And I am just so happy that this is happening now with all the awesome technology and all the opportunities that we have to be able to connect. Like being able to talk to you right now, I would be so sad if I went a whole year without going to a convention without seeing you. So it's just awesome. I'm just so happy about that. But it sounds like such an interesting way to do it in Animal Crossing. There's all sorts of just unusual things you can find and so many ways to customize it. So what's the weirdest thing that you've found so far while wandering around?
In Animal Crossing?
Mm-hmm.
Weirdest thing. Okay, I don't even know if it's weird, but it freaks me out. And I don't know why it freaks me out because it's just a game. But the tarantulas, and I haven't even seen the scorpions yet, okay? The tarantulas are disgusting. like, especially when you catch one. So first of all, let me set the scenario here. You'll just be walking along your island, all of a sudden you'll see this like big thing, and you're like, ugh! And if you don't stop in time, it like comes over and like bites you, and then you go, meow, and these stars hit, and then you fall, and you go back to your, like, it sends you back to your house. So ideally you don't die, but you kind of like pass out. So when you want to catch them, they're worth like 10,000 bells when you catch them and bring them to the nook and cranny store or whatever. So you try and catch these things, you gotta like creep, and then if you have to stop because it goes, and it literally makes that sound in the game. and then it'll go down. Yeah, and then it'll go down, and then you have to keep crawling toward it, and then it does it again. Then you stop. Like, that's literally how to catch it, and then you have to swipe it and then get it with your net, and then and then what it does is once you get in your net, you kind of do this, so it shows the screen what you've just caught, and it is so gross because it's like wiggling and stuff. And you're like, I just caught a tarantula. Anyway, that's, for me, it freaks me out because it looks so like real for like a little cartoony tarantula thing.
So, on a side note, this is really weird. So for Christmas, my mother-in-law is fantastic, and she always makes my husband and I stockings, even though it's super, super cute. So she always puts lots of candy in there. And this year she found these candies at some like international food marketplace that were animal themed. And so every one of them was a little chocolate bar that you would unfold, and inside there was an animal picture. It was actually a sticker, but it was like a real photograph of some animal. So we were all excited to open these up. And the first one we open up is an actual life-like picture, an actual photo of a cockroach.
Oh, that's so gross.
In our chocolate. And these are like collectible things you're supposed to enjoy as a child.
That is horrifying.
Like, this is just really strange, but there are societies where cockroaches are pets, so we're like, okay, this might just be like some sort of a cultural thing. So we open up the next one. It's this horrible, muddy picture of a carp, like not a fun fish, but like just this carp coming out of the gross, muddy water, so you can only see half of it. Pictures. This is really strange.
Oh, that's too funny.
Tarantula story reminded me of that.
Right, and P.S. you can catch carp in Animal Crossing as well, and you also show them off when you catch them.
That's awesome. Okay, now I need to play this game. That does sound good.
Right? The tarantulas. The one thing that freaks me out, though, like while we're talking about the tarantula, like, you have these like islands you can go to, which basically allow you to get more resources. So it's like they're like, you get like a ticket and you can go. So I guess this is supposed to be jackpot. It freaks me out. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, this island, I'm doing the things, knocking the trees, hitting the rocks, getting all my resources, and all of a sudden I see a tarantula. I'm like, what was that? So I was like, okay, not a big deal, I catch it. Then I'm seeing like 2, 3, 4 of these things chasing me. I'm like, what is this? And then I find out, oh, here we go, I've hit Tarantula Island.
No!
Yes.
That's a place?
There is a Tarantula Island. Oh, so I literally was like, oh gosh. Then I remembered seeing online, there's like traps you can make, so you have to like kind of dig holes and then run away from them and then jump over the hole, turn around and like swipe them. But I'm like, they're everywhere. Anyway, I think I left that island with like 40 tarantulas in my storage to sell when I got back to my island. It's disgusting.
You need like some achievement that says that you're the tarantula queen now.
Oh.
Got all the tarantulas.
This is just so gross. But then I went back and listened to some music by AK. So there's this little dog in the game. I don't know if that was from previous versions, but he's like a superstar, like a pop. Oh, I was like pop, but he's like a singing sensation, and he sings all types of music, metal, reggae, everything. And anyway, so now I'm in the game trying to collect all of his albums as well.
Nice. Oh, so diverse. There's a great stuff you can do in that. That sounds amazing. Yeah, I'm very impressed. So one other final Animal Crossing question for you.
Sure.
Do you have a favorite villager?
Well, I haven't seen as many because I've been seeing online there are favorites. Like people like certain ones, and I hear people in the chat saying, "Oh, this person's terrible. You don't want this person." On my island specifically, I have to say it's a tie between Pom Pom, and Apple. They're just so cute. Like, they're just like, oh my gosh, they're adorable. And it's like, oh, they're just so cute. There's one on my island I can't stand. He calls me Touchdown, and I'm like, stop calling me that. It's really annoying. Yeah, I don't know. They give you nicknames, and I'm like, this is a terrible nickname. So I don't know if like Pom Pom's like a little duck or something. I'm not sure. And Apple, I don't know what Apple is. Apple's just pink and really cute. Anyway, adorable. I just I give them a dress or something. Oh, this is the best thing ever. You know my style so well. And they're like, let me try it on. And it's so cute. Yeah, those two, Pom Pom and Apple.
Well, that's very exciting. I will definitely have to try Animal Crossing at some point. Although I've been playing so many board games, I feel like I don't have any extra time for digital games. But
right,
I'll just scope some out in my schedule. It sounds like
it's relaxing, like just before bed. You know, I like it before bed. It's just like the organizing and the chatting. It's simple. And if you don't get to it, it'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. So, in addition to playing Animal Crossing, have you been playing any other video games, books, any good TV shows you've been watching lately?
There's so many things. Where should I start? Well, while we're on this video game trajectory, I'll just finish off there. So I finished this a while ago, but someone had asked me about it, The Outer Worlds. And it's the same people that did like Fallout.
Okay.
Right. So I have a history of not finishing games. I'll start it, and I'm like, yeah, it's taking too long. I get bored or whatever, and I'm like, I'm done. I finished it. So It's not a super long one. Like The Witcher that I'm playing right now, The Witcher's going to be a long haul. It's good, but it's going to be long. For those who don't know, I like kind of RPG style video games. I'm not really big into first person like shooter type games, and I like to play them in story mode. So if it's a story mode, I will always choose that option because I'm not huge on combat. And The Outer Worlds had a really good storyline. It's a shorter game than most. I think it was only maybe like 30 hours ish, give or take, which is it was short. And but the storyline was great. So I finished that up, and now I'm playing The Witcher, which I like. It's a little bit more intense, and I'm still kind of getting used to some of the controls and actions. It's a bit different than The Outer Worlds, but the story is good. So yeah, and again, RPG style game. So yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. What about you? Aren't you playing any right now?
Anything. What am I playing right now? So I have been playing oh my gosh, why can't I think of the game? Okay, here. This is a Guess the Game. If you
Oh no. This is gonna go badly.
It's by Nikki Valens. It's if you know her,
I do know she is, yeah.
Yeah, so Nikki Valens works at Fantasy Flight, and she recently put out an awesome game called Quirky Circuits.
Yeah, I played it.
And the game I am talking about is more RPG, which is why I was thinking about it. And I did finally remember the name of it. So anybody in chat have a good guess of what I'm talking about?
Okay, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so it's direct your adventure type RPG. So it's not really a hardcore RPG because I'm not super creative, but you get to make choices. You're given a list of options, and then the options that you choose will direct where the story goes. And it's a book. So it's actually perfect for playing online because I have a friend that I play with who comes over to my house every single week. Well, we can't do that anymore, and so instead we're just playing over Skype, and that's been working out really well. So did anybody guess, Desiree?
Someone's writing something. Someone said Proving Grounds.
Oh, Proving Grounds. That's a very good guess because Nikki Valens, did she write the story for that?
I don't remember.
Maybe it was Nikki.
Oh.
It was not Proving Grounds. So this is, well, I'll just tell you. So Legacy of Dragonhold.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic. And I really am enjoying the story, and it's fun to just have a reason to connect with my friend every week, and we play and talk about things in between, and then we go and kill a bunch of goblins, and it's all good.
That's awesome. So I've heard it's really good. I have not played it. I think Suzanne's played it, but I heard it's awesome.
Yeah, well, now is a good time to play it because it definitely is digital friendly that way. So I'm really enjoying that. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Other than that, Heroes of the Storm, which is my video game of choice. I like to play, and also I haven't fixed my PC, which I was playing Far Cry, because there's a version of the Far Cry 5, I guess. It's basically set where I live. It's set in Montana, and all around this cult that is a little bit fanatical, and you have to go around and avoid cult members and do whatever scary things with them that you want to do. But basically, it's all based on a real cult that originated not too far away from where I live. So for me, it's kind of interesting from a historical perspective, and then you get to go and fly airplanes and shoot things, and why not? So I have to get my PC working again to play that.
Do you play on PC? Is that the platform of choice, or?
I prefer to play on PC.
Ah, okay. I didn't know. Okay, I play Xbox. I play Xbox for the games, unless it is something I have to play on PC, because I do have a system that could support it, but Xbox is easier because I could just lay in my bed and play. I'm so lazy.
I like it. But other than that, I did just finish Monte Coro Legacy.
Oh, okay, nice.
Got through that, and we really wanted to sort of power through the last little bit of it and do some puzzles, which I've been enjoying. So actually here we're working on this one right now.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
So,
do you keep them? Do you glue them together, or do you... Oh, okay.
No, we give them away to people. We put them all together, and then as long as the dog doesn't eat any pieces in between when we're done, put it back in the box. If we still have all the pieces, I just give them away.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I played an RPG recently. It was, I don't know if you've played it, Fiasco.
Oh!
And, yeah.
Who is your manager was telling me that he played that with you.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't stop laughing. Like, my face was like hurting because we were laughing and smiling for this entire, like, the story was so ridiculous that we ended up doing, but it was just so fun. So I told him Suzanne and I would love to get together, maybe if you want to join us, or Desiree wants to join us to do Kids on Bikes with Jonathan Gilmore.
I would love to play Kids on Bikes with Jonathan. That would be a blast.
So I wrote him about it. He's gonna see. He said, that's something totally that could happen. So stay tuned. We might be doing a live stream of like a Kids on Bike or something.
I may have to argue about that though, because I would actually really prefer to play Kids on Brooms, the new one we just announced.
Oh, well, we weren't committed to Kids on Bikes. I thought you were going to say, like, no, you're not allowed to do it. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I prefer to play this game without you in our group. Sorry.
No. I literally thought that's what you were going to say. I'm like, oh my goodness, did I just, like, do the wrong thing there?
No, that's funny. No, I think that would be fantastic, but I would love to sling some spells. I think it would be fun to...
yeah, that's even better. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm serious. This needs to happen. And if anyone in the chat would like to see this happen, or like, oh, I don't really care. If I legit will make this happen. But if you're like, well then maybe we won't. I don't know. We'll see.
And we're going to do it for sure.
It's a matter of if we televise it as a whole other thing. But no, of course I would love to do it live and have people like join us and stuff. It'd be cool.
Yeah, I played Kids on Bikes and it was a blast. We had a very fun campaign that involved sentient plants, which was fantastic.
That's awesome.
So a bunch of little kids with little plant creatures running around. Actually, our powered player characters. So for people who don't know anything about Kids on Bikes, as part of your party, you always get this cooperatively controlled character that is way more powerful and way more awesome than any of you little kids running around the neighborhood. And what's fun about that is that character, you all have to work together to decide what it does. So in our campaign that I was playing, we had a sentient plant that was very, very powerful, and we were trying to figure out why all the other plants were dying or having problems. And it was just lots of fun and very silly. And we did about 4 sessions of that one and then kind of wrapped it up, which was a nice, short, condensed campaign. So something like that for some group would be really fun because we could have some magical creatures. We could go battle some dragons. It'd be exciting.
Yes, this is exciting stuff. I don't know, for some reason, the last one we played, I like to introduce weird characters. Paula Deming, for who don't know, I think her best character was Lunch Lady. You got to go back and watch it to even like understand what that means. And then we had Ruel, who does streams with you. His character ended up doing a lot of mansplaining. I gotta tell you, it was really good. He did such a good job. Like, we would say something like, oh yeah, we're gonna, go look at this statue. And then we'd say what a statue was, and he'd be like, Well, actually, so like every time it's saying, well, actually it's this, or actually I think it's called this. He did such a good job. Anyway, I'm just excited if we end up doing this. I'm very excited.
Well, people in chat are saying yes, and one of our renegades, Victor, said, "As long as I get to be a part of it."
That's awesome.
Hi, Victor.
Victor, I played with a Victor. Is that the same Victor?
I don't think.
I wonder. No, okay, because I played with a Victor, and he was also very good. So this will be fun.
Nice. So, just getting back to playing tabletop games. So you mentioned you haven't been playing a lot of tabletop games in person, which is understandable. But you have been playing on Tabletopia, so that's pretty interesting. I actually just barely played on Tabletopia for the first time. I played Architects. And I was curious, so how do you feel that system works for you as a gamer? Like, are you missing anything? Is there anything that's better in a digital system that you don't get in real life? So what was your overall feeling about it?
Overall, I mean, I like it. Ideally, I would like it better to play in person because I like to touch things and move things. Like, as a teacher, like in real life, you know, when I'm explaining a game, I like to take a piece, put it down with my hand, show you, and, you know, do the things. You can do that digitally, but it's more time consuming. I find it's a bit more difficult to kind of do it quickly and keep a rhythm going. So for me, that was the biggest thing. We still have the interaction, the fact that we keep a chat open. So we have a Discord video chat going while we have the game, so we can still see each other and stuff. So that stuff is pretty good. I mean, there's no cleanup. I like that. You can just like, no setup, no cleanup. It's all done for you. So that's like a bonus, which is good. But you know, you miss having to be in the same room as people. You miss being able to touch things and move things around quickly and not having to think about it. Because the first time playing a Tabletopia, it's a learning curve. Like, you try to figure out the controls, hotkeys, and then if you switch from Tabletopia to Tabletop Simulator, it's different. You know what I mean? So now you're trying to know another system, and so for me, I found that overwhelming, but now I'm starting to kind of get used to it. So it hasn't been too bad, but I do find it takes us longer to play a game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's just me.
I think it depends. So I wasn't playing in the game last night, but my husband was playing with our local group, was playing Zolkin. And the first part of the game actually went much faster than you would expect.
Okay.
I think part of that is that Zolkin has a lot of components. It can be a little bit of like managing things and moving things around and looking at everything, and you can do that a little bit more easily in a digital space. But then they got distracted talking about fences and other things, and all of a sudden everything slowed down to almost a complete stall. So I think it's a little bit harder without that face-to-face social interaction, all of the body cues that we're really used to seeing in each other and about, to know, oh, it's my turn because everybody's staring at their phones now, or I should be paying attention and figuring out what's going to happen because my turn's next. And that type of thing really can slow down digital games, I think. Okay. But overall, it's certainly nice to have some options. So that's good. But it will be interesting to see if those different platforms really explode over the next year. I actually had a great call with the owner of Tabletopia a couple of days ago. I just had some questions for him and wanted to know some stuff. And so we were chatting. And it's really interesting how many more people they're dealing with now than they were even a month and a half ago, and how I'm just super impressed that they've been able to manage that extra load in a way that we've seen bigger companies not be able to do. And so I'm just really thankful that they have these systems that we can interact with. It's pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely. And it's Ivan probably that you talked to, I'm assuming. He's one of the...
maybe it was one of the other...
Oh, okay.
But Timothy?
Oh, maybe, yeah. So Ivan has actually been... Ivan's great. So Ivan actually, when I was doing more with To Die For Games, which was my own channel and stuff, he was right from the beginning. I love your stuff. I love what you're doing. You know, really want to get you involved with Tabletopia. And I was really nervous about doing digital gaming because I didn't really know much about it. And, you know, all of this was new to me. So I was like, oh, you know, we'll see. But now that we have Apptastic, Suzanne and I were able to show that off more. So that was our goal, trying to show board game before this whole quarantine had started, the different ways you can play board games without having to be in the same place. Like Suzanne and I don't live in the same country and still be able to play games together. And it's funny how that happened now. And we're using these platforms. I I still think people are going to love their board games. They love to be at the table and do all of those things, but it's nice for someone like, like people like us or myself and Suzanne who are not always in the same space to be able to do that. And we still chat. We actually chat much more online than we did before, so like face to face.
Yeah, that is interesting. You definitely have a lot more experience in this space than most people do. And like you mentioned, Suzanne has been a champion of digital board games for a very long time and even has some really good lists and good suggestions. And speaking of which, we actually have a couple games on digital formats that people are welcome to enjoy if they want, including Lanterns, the Harvest Festival. Lotus is another one that we converted over to a digital format, but also recently Raiders of the North Sea.
And the people can keep an eye out for that on Apptastic. We're going to be playing that pretty soon.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's exciting. And speaking of that, we, especially because you were going to be here, we wanted to give away a couple codes for that. So if Desiree would like to put that link in the channel, we are giving away 2 codes for Raiders of the North Sea. You just have to fill out a little short Google form. And the secret code word that you'll be asked for in the form is Golden Geeks. And that's because we have a couple of Golden Geek awards that we've been nominated for. And we wanted to remind people today is the last day to go and vote for those. So go check it out. We have a couple in several different categories, and we would love to get more people just to tell us what their favorite board games are. So and then also the other thing that we're giving away on that form, if you fill it out, is Reichholt, because as we were talking about Animal Crossing, we were talking about turnips earlier and farming in general, and Reichholt's a farming game. So if you're enjoying Animal Crossing, you should check out Reichholt.
Wow, Sarah, that's as bad as my little segues on the podcast. So, but it's okay because I feel you.
Well, it was totally reasonable. There's absolutely a connection, I promise.
Well, and with Reichholt, you won't have to worry about the tarantulas. So
Oh, that's true. No tarantulas.
That's right. There's a little growl in there. You can smash them with.
Oh, so gross. Oh goodness! I'm eyeballing your back there, your games on there at Stellar. Yeah, the other side. Yeah, there you go. It's so good. If anyone listens to the podcast, I mean, you don't have to tell me if you do or not. It doesn't matter. But I talked about this one not too long ago. I really liked this. Yeah, spoiler alert. I liked this one. And I was hoping you would have it on Tabletopia.
Oh, interesting. We don't, because we're very new. Renegade is new to digital gaming in that respect. So we have a couple games, like I mentioned already, that we converted over to iOS and Android, so you can actually download them and play them on your phone. But as far as Tabletopia, Tabletop Simulator, we're really just exploring those. So any feedback, any thoughts people have about that, we would love to hear it. We're always very conscious of making sure that any of our designers are still getting royalties and still getting the payment that they deserve for any of the games that we make. So of course there's a little bit of concern about, well, if we put this out there for free, are people still going to buy it? And I think it's a big question that everybody's sort of asking right now, and we're trying to figure it out. So what are your thoughts about that? Are you a person who would play it, try it out, enjoy it, and then go buy it? Or are you kind of like, I'll try it out there and then maybe never again?
Oh, I'm probably the worst person to ask because I have apps and Steam and Switch and of all, for example, Carcassonne. I'll just use that as an example. I have Carcassonne on iOS, I have Carcassonne on Android, I have it on Switch, and I have the actual physical copy. So for me, I just like to have it available. So for me, it's a different experience having it digitally than having it in my house and I can play it. So I give the example of Splendor. Splendor is not a game that I particularly enjoy. It's not a terrible game. It's just not for me. However, I have the app. So it's a game for me that I don't 100% enjoy to play in person, but I don't mind having it on an app. See what I mean? But if I actually really play a game and I really like a game, I want the physical copy. And I think most people fall into that camp unless they're just the type of people that just can't get games to the table, whether because they don't have a partner or people they can play with, or it's a time thing, with work or family or whatever. Other than that, I think most people enjoy either having the physical copy, or both, having like a little kind of on the go and having something you can play with friends. So I don't think that's too much of a concern. I still think people will buy the game.
Yeah, I think if it's a good game, then you share it with people and they'll find out that it is good, and then they'll go buy it if it's available and all that kind of stuff. I know that's another concern right now, is that it is going to be kind of hard to actually find games a little bit. Like, a lot of stores are closed. It's maybe a little bit more challenging to accept mail, that type of thing. Have you been finding that as an issue?
No, I know for us here, Board Game Bliss, which actually also sells to the US, they're still going strong. I haven't. Well, let me rephrase that. I was like, I haven't bought any games. That's a lie. I've been on Kickstarter a lot. That's probably not so good. But no, I haven't had too much of an issue. I don't know how it is over border, though. I know within Canada it seems to be all right. I don't know how it would be crossing borders and whatnot. So.
Yeah, it seems like shipping here is still going pretty well. Of course, a lot of local stores are having a tough time and either open or in a limited way or still completely closed. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch all of this unfold, and hopefully all of our local gaming stores can come back in a really strong way. I'm pretty positive about it because I think that people do, like you were saying earlier, really want to game together. And I think as long as local stores are able to, offering that space will still be something people want.
For sure. Oh, there is a game that came from you all. I don't know if I can talk about it, so maybe I shouldn't. It's a newer game. I can't play it yet. I'm so excited. It starts with planet and ends with X.
It's totally fun. So Mandy is talking about the Search for Planet X, which is a game that we're doing with Foxtrot Games. You might be aware of the Fox in the Forest, Lanterns. We do a lot of games with them. And this is their next one. So they actually ran a Kickstarter for this about a year ago. And now it's finally actually just shipping. Like, it landed in our warehouse literally yesterday. So we're going to be getting this out to local stores that are open as soon as possible. And we're starting to ship all of those Kickstarter backer people. Should be getting a note from Randy very soon that they're working on shipping that as well. And I actually, just before I took this call with you, was talking to local stores that have backed it as a retailer option. So I was calling them to make sure, are you open? Can you accept these packages? All for the Search for X. So yeah, you can play it now.
I'm hoping. Well, I have no one to play it with. I'm like, there is a solo option now. Anybody who knows me knows I do not play solo. However, I'm really tempted to do it because otherwise it's not going to get played unless it comes digitally or...
We should play it.
Okay. Because I know, I would. It's been sitting there and I'm like, it's like on my table. I'm like, I want to play it.
I also honestly have it sitting on my table too. Even the box is open, like with the rules.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, we should. We'll set up a time to play because it looks. And now, anyone who's in the chat who listens to the podcast, but Mandy, I thought you didn't like space games. Well, it's not my fault that space games are getting better. Okay.
We just talked about 2 space games. And we actually also have Warp's Edge that's just about to come out, and it's another space game. But hey, when you can't hang out on our own planet anymore, we might as well go to another one.
Exactly. I'm like in so much trouble. My Twitter is just going to blow up like, Mandy, we can't trust you anymore.
Well, the nice thing about the Search for Planet X is that this one is really a deduction game. And so if you like those puzzles, like, I don't know if you ever did this as a kid. I was in school as a kid, and they would make us do these things where you were given a list of information, like, at this house, one of the houses is yellow, it's got 3 red flowers in front of it and a blue car. And it would give you information like that for all the different houses, and you were supposed to use deductive reasoning to figure out exactly which houses were next to each other.
Right.
And that's exactly like this game. So you're trying to figure out where the planet X is on this huge circular map that's on the board, and you use deductive reasoning based on what other celestial bodies are on that map to figure out where Planet X is, which is really cool because that's what scientists would actually do. They're looking at the gravitational pull and how close it would be to other things, and all this information that they've gathered, and they can't actually see the planet, but they know that it's there through deductive reasoning. So I love this game. I've actually played it a couple times already, and I haven't tried playing it online though, and I think it would work out just fine, because as long as you have a copy and I have a copy, there's not really a lot of fiddly stuff on the board, so it'd be easy to play.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's definitely something to consider, because otherwise I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play it anytime soon, so no, this is great.
And I know how to play it, so I can teach you. Yay!
Even better.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I will let you know. I'm totally open for this. So whenever you have a free moment.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I've been doing more streaming and stuff, so people are like, we want more. I'm like, okay, so yeah, we'll definitely. I still have to work. P.S. everyone. I'm a teacher, but I'm working from home, and it's been like nuts. But yes, we will definitely find the time to do it. I'm excited.
It is a little strange right now. I'm working from home, obviously, like I always do for the last almost 8 years now, and so it seems really normal, but it's almost like there's this holiday going on where everyone else is on vacation. I'm still working, which is pretty normal because that's usually what I do on the holidays anyway. So yeah, it's kind of fun that way.
Oh no, I feel like I'm like, don't get me wrong, I always work hard, but I feel like it's like I feel tired. Like after I'm done work, I'm like, gosh, I'm feeling exhausted. I need to have a nap, because I find when I work from home, I find that I don't get as many interruptions. So I'll sit at my computer. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's 2:00. I didn't even eat lunch. You know what I mean? Like I'm so focused and I don't have the distraction, versus at work, I'm always getting people. So for those who don't know, I'm a teacher, but I teach now. I used to teach children, but now I teach an environment where I work with adults and military. So civilians and military, and I teach classes in that kind of atmosphere. So I'm not always in the classroom. So colleagues, managers or people coming to see me for advisory type things, it's constant. So I think I just don't have the interruption now. So I'm just really plugging away and getting work done, but I'm exhausted.
Oh man, yeah, you really are in the digital world all day long, every single day. Then that's a little intense.
Yeah.
So, do you have any recommendations or suggestions for people who really didn't do a lot of digital stuff before and now are finally jumping onto these platforms?
And it's funny that you asked that. This is what I'm doing now. I'm helping my group and other groups. We're trying to set up Microsoft Teams is what we're using right now. So we're for the government, so things have to be kind of approved in advance. But I'm working with people who are not as comfortable working in this kind of virtual environment. And we're setting up, they called us the support gurus, or like the power user team. So we help people get set up with things like Zoom and Microsoft Teams. And we've been doing little presentations actually to the groups to kind of walk them through how to do it, giving them little activities. We're going to take a field trip. Let's go to Zoom and see how this works. And the best thing to do is just get online. Microsoft's really good for these little 2-minute tutorials on how to use certain things within Teams, for example. Slack is another one that has some really good ones. Google, they all have really nice tutorial things that you can go on and learn, and they're short snippets. You don't need to know all the ins and outs of the program. Like Zoom right now, I didn't need a green screen, FYI. There's actually something in Zoom where I can actually put a background in. People are like, really? I didn't know that. These are things I just figured out just by going online and reading about it. Like, I didn't know that either. So I say, go online, look at some little videos that they provide for you, read a little bit. Seriously, it'll take you maybe an hour at most to kind of just get an idea and play with it. Mm-hmm. That's it. Don't stress yourself out about having, this background I have or something crazy. Doesn't matter. Can you see the other person? They can see you. You can hear each other. Great. That's as far as it needs to go. And then work your way up. So just don't overwhelm yourself with trying to learn all the different platforms. Find one you like, find one that works, go with that. That's it.
I like it. That's very good advice. Yeah, it seems like we all are learning a lot of new skills recently. So just being a little bit, understanding and patient with yourself during that process, I think is really important.
Yeah.
It can be really hard. And people are at very different technology levels. I've been really surprised by that, especially I think my generation. A lot of people I knew didn't grow up with computers. I was really lucky and I was able to do that, but a lot of people didn't really get introduced to computers until they were maybe in college. So all this new stuff trying to learn is like learning a new language. It can be really tough.
Oh, absolutely. Come on, did you grow up with they weren't even called Macs then. I don't even know what they called them. They were like these tall, kind of square, they were Apple, and the discs were like those big black, like floppy discs.
Oh yeah.
That's what I grew up with.
Nice. I didn't have an Apple in my house. I had one that we worked with at school.
Oh, those were the school ones.
Yeah, but I had a Commodore 64 at my house.
Oh.
It was amazing. And if anybody's ever played Jumpman Jr., that is the best video game in the whole world, by the way.
That's awesome.
There were these cartridges that you actually plugged into the back of your keyboard, and that's how you played games on it. Oh, classic. I loved it so much. So that was my computers. But my brother has always been into computers since the day he was born, I think. And so he was always like tearing them apart, building new ones, even in the early 80s. That was what he was doing. So he really brought our whole family into the computer age as fast as possible. He would go into the computer stores and hack into all of the ones that were like on display and change the little screen savers that they would have and all sorts of just silly, goofy kid stuff. But he always knew more about them than anybody working there.
Right. That's amazing. That's so good, though. I wish I had that mind. You know what I mean? Like, my computer that I have was built, but it was a friend, and he just, like, I just do it for fun. That would not be a fun thing for me. Like, it would be a project.
Oh, no kidding. Like, every single day, if he had any free time, he was reading computer programming manuals. Wow. Like, at the dinner table, he was reading C++ manuals. That was my brother.
Yeah, that's intense.
Yeah, it's funny when you enjoy something, how much more quickly you can learn it and how much more time you automatically invest in it. And I think a lot of us are like that with board games. It is insane how much each one of us knows about all of these millions of different games that we play.
And then when you meet someone who knows more than you do, it's like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So everybody's got their own little thing, and I'm happy mine is board games.
Exactly.
There are worse things to be excited about.
Right? Exactly. I agree.
Oh, fun. So what do you have that you're looking forward to for the rest of the year? I mean, obviously, all of us have had to change what we're planning and our goals for the year. So what are you looking forward to?
Oh my goodness. Well, if things happen. So I actually was slated to go this month to Hamilton. And yeah, that unfortunately is pushed down to December. So I'm hoping that still happens. So I'm excited for that. I was also supposed to go see Rage Against the Machine and a few other bands and that was supposed to be in June for Blues Fest. But again, I don't think it's going to happen. So that's either going to be pushed. So again, something else I'll look forward to if it happens in the year. Conventions are going to be weird this year. They're all over the place. Like I know Origins and some other ones are really close to Essen, if that all still happens. And everybody knows I love going to Essen. I always look forward to going to Germany and seeing people, that I know that live there and the actual show. So conventions, of course, are something that I'm looking forward to see everybody and, play some actual games with people. So I know it's sad, but yeah, that's kind of the thing. And I think I'm going to be doing some stuff with you all later on in the summer. Streaming stuff.
I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, so working on the details, but yeah, so that's something I'm obviously looking forward to. I'm trying to think. Right now, I'm just looking forward to catching up on all shows. I don't watch a lot of television. I'm just not home a lot, so I've been able to log on to my Prime, Netflix, whatever it is I have, and right now I've been trying to watch the shows I'm excited to watch shows that I've been putting on the back burner. So right now I'm into The Expanse.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm on episode 4, I think, and so far so good. So I'm just trying to watch shows that I would probably never watch if things were as normal. So just trying to do the things that I haven't had a chance to do. Sewing, I've been putting that on the back burner, doing all of that. So yeah, that's it really. What about you? I'm sure you've got lots of things you want to do.
Oh my gosh. Well, so I've been doing lots of dog training, and that's been nice. Like normally I travel a lot for work, and so I'll be at home and gain some good work done, consistency, and then all of a sudden I have somewhere else I need to go, and then I lose a week of training and a week of getting everything moving forward like I want to, and then I kind of have to start over when I get back. So I've been taking this opportunity. There are tons of online training options. And speaking of conferences, there's actually a really huge dog training conference that's put on by a company that normally only does webinars and online training anyway. And they all get together once a year in a physical space and have this big event. Well, obviously they can't do this year. So they are putting on a digital dog training conference, which should be very exciting. So yeah, I've been doing lots of that. Also a lot of big registration companies. I don't really know how to describe them, like the AKC and the different dog groups. Obviously they can't do in-person training anymore either, and so they have a lot of things that they give certifications for that normally you have to have a certified trainer watch you do the thing in front of them to be able to get certified, and now you can do those things online. So living in Montana, it's a little harder to do some of those things and get those certificates and those ribbons, so I've been working on some of those online ones and just making videos. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Also, you were talking about TV shows. I just watched, I don't know if you like comedy a lot, but I just watched this hilarious, at least hilarious to me, TV show that's on Apple TV, and they just started doing their own exclusive TV shows, and it's called Mythic Quest. Basically, imagine if you worked in the office at Blizzard. This is a show about that.
I wrote it down because I have Apple TV.
There you go. You should definitely watch, Mythic Quest. It's hilarious. So I've been really enjoying that one. It's good.
Any other ones you can suggest?
Yeah, other ones I could suggest. So I've also been rewatching all of 30 Rock because it's good.
I've never watched it.
Oh, it's hilarious. The pilot is pretty bad, and the writing gets much, much better as it goes through the season. So if you can get through the pilot and you enjoy it enough to keep watching, then you'll love the rest of it.
Okay.
Just gets better. So that one's really good. But yeah, I pretty much only watch comedies. At the end of the day, I just need something fun and light. So that's mostly what we watch.
No, let's listen. For these times, it warrants it. I'm waiting for is it The Boys on Amazon?
Oh, yeah, that's
to start back. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, they do deal with some serious. Yeah, they do deal with some serious topics. I love it. Like I met, what's his name? Is it Urban? That's his last. He's one of the main guys in the show. People in the chat, if you remember his name, I met him at a Comic-Con. So my friend does a lot of media and stuff for Comic-Con, so I get to meet a lot of these celebrities. And wow, he's a tall guy. I didn't think he was that tall. Anyway, I digress. I'm thinking of it because I know like the show Spartacus I used to watch, and he was in that, so it was really cool. And then he was in a short-lived kind of show that I really enjoyed as well. But anyway, if you like that actor, he's so good in this show. Anyway, that was where that was going. It's so good. The Boys. I want it to come back on. It's not on, and I don't know if it'll come back with all that's going on right now because they might have wrapped, like not been able to continue filming.
Yeah. Again, thank goodness we play board games because entertainment in general is in a kind of weird spot right now, so we've still got ours.
That is true, actually.
I'm very, very thankful for that. Yeah, The Boys, interesting. So that actually was originally a comic, right? That's the one you're talking about? Yeah, so I read some of the comics. I just haven't watched the TV show.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going down the list. There's some like older ones because I have Amazon Prime, which has some of the older shows. But I want to see the movie. There's a movie it's on my list. Us. It's the same guy who did. Oh my goodness! It won an award. It was like not a horror movie, but like a thriller. Well, yeah, I guess a horror thriller movie. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. And it's where like there's a scene, I know you've seen it, where she brings a boyfriend home and the mother kind of hypnotizes him and she has like the cup and she's stirring the tea. You know what I'm talking about, Desiree. You know which movie it is.
I do.
Oh yeah, Desiree loves horror stuff.
Why can't I remember? It was such a good movie. It's the same guy, Key and Peele.
Yeah, as soon as you started talking about it, the name just went away.
It went away. Anyway, I can't remember, Sarah, but he did, the same guy who directed this movie, Us. That's all it's called. It's literally called Us, and it looks so creepy and cool in the ads for it. So I gotta watch it. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, yeah! I've been watching a little bit of Westworld, and it's like maybe too intense. I have to watch it on the weekends because if I watch it during the weeknights, it's too much emotionally for me to handle.
Wait, Westworld. I've heard of the show. What is it about? I don't know anything about it. I've heard it's good.
You don't know anything about Westworld?
No, oh my God, both of your faces. I told you, I don't watch a lot of TV.
Oh no, this is a good one to watch. So basically, imagine we're like hundreds of years in the future and we, instead of playing an RPG on a computer, we go to an island where there are all these characters, they're androids walking around, and they have story built into them that they will play out, and you can have love affairs with these characters, or you can murder them, or whatever you want to do. And there's quests that you can go on, and you can follow the story all the way through. And so they have guests that come to this island and pay a whole bunch of money for this like super intense, realistic experience that they can enjoy for the whole time they're there. But of course, we have computers becoming sentient and all sorts of problems that come along with that. But now they're physical things walking around that look like real people. So of course you can see how that would be problematic.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So it quickly evolves. And the first season is all set on this island that is Western themed. And so you have like cowboys and Indians kind of a setup.
Right.
But an Old West, like beautiful scenery, amazing actors. But then the next season after that, they of course have new worlds that you can go and visit, and new places where these things are happening that are completely different than the original Western themed one. So each one of the different seasons is set in different spaces that make it really interesting from an aesthetic point of view, and also allow them to tell really interesting stories. And some of it does happen in real world, and some of it happens in these sort of semi-real world areas. It's just very cool. It's very, very different than anything else I've seen before, but it does have a dark undertone to the whole thing.
Which I don't mind though.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be too much. It's not like horror, it's just sort of like, let's think about humanity.
Okay, got it.
It's really good. Also, the movie is Get Out. People in chat were like yelling it.
It's right there. It's right. Thank you. Get Out. Yes. You haven't seen it, Sarah?
I haven't.
It's so good. Like it won. Like didn't it win like awards, like Oscars or something? It won something.
I don't remember what it won, but I believe so. But just because he writes comedy, he actually does really well with horror. So it's really good. And yeah, Us is really creepy too.
It's so good, and the reason why like I really like it, and I'm touching on this, I'm not trying to make it serious, but like it makes me happy is that because, and I'm gonna make a joke about it, but when you watch horror movies and usually there's a black person in horror movies, that one's a goner. I'm being serious. Listen, anybody who watches horror movies knows exactly what I'm talking about. Come on. I am saying this as a black person. They're usually like the first one's gone. So I loved when he came on the scene because then he basically had more of us that stayed alive in the movie, so that made me happy.
I watched a lot of Star Trek as a kid, and we always knew the red shirts were gonna die.
It was this sort of thing. Speaking of Star Trek, it's funny. Speaking of Star Trek, I was watching reruns of Deep Space Nine the other night.
Deep Space Nine is so good.
That was my favorite.
Oh, so wonderful. Such a good story. I like that one.
And that's it. And my brothers were like, they don't go anywhere. All they do is talk and tell stories. And I'm like, so? What's wrong with that? Oh, they hated it.
They didn't watch enough of it. That one you have to watch sequentially, and you have to watch all of it, or else you really miss out. But I thought it was really deep. Like, of course, you're right. Like, instead of going out into the world and exploring, they had the different cultures coming into this one space and interacting, which I thought accomplished in a lot of ways the same thing.
Exactly. Listen, I liked it. I was watching it. I mean, it's been a long time, so I kind of jumped into an episode. I'm like, okay, I don't think I remember exactly what was going on here, but I still like the story. Meh.
Yeah, Next Generation is a lot easier to watch in bite-sized pieces because really there are some overall themes and some overall story points, but not really.
No, exactly. So, that's fine.
Exactly. Nice. So, I'm assuming that people are enjoying watching you because they're here hanging out with our channel. So, how can they interact with you after this lovely radio show is over?
Oh my goodness, so many places. So if you sort of follow me on social media, well, I'm all over. You can find me on Twitter, Board Gamer Pinup, or on Instagram, Board Gaming Pinup Girl. If you just have questions or want to maybe hear your question on our podcast, you can give me a ring at Mandi, that's Mandi with an I, at dicetower.com.
Fantastic. Well, and if you want to connect with Renegade, you're already here. You can find us on Facebook at Play Renegade. or you can go Twitter, Instagram. We have all sorts of different spaces you can interact with us. But most importantly, make sure that you go and fill out that form for a chance to win a copy of Breakhold or one of our 2 codes for Raiders of the North Sea digital version. So awesome. Well, thank you, Mandy, so much for joining us. It's been so fun chatting. And we really need to play Kids on Brooms and Superplant X. We're going to make that happen.
Absolutely. Oh, and you also need to go and play Animal Crossing.
I'll probably go play Animal Crossing. I do have a Switch, and it is sadly just sitting on its dock, not being used right now. So I probably need to go and do that.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, and we will chat soon.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.